Esquel, Siemna Siea, Exproloan Kwanasilam Nama. I'd like to acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the lands of the Halkmene speaking people, specifically the Quamachin village. The Board of Education is honored to be able to collaboratively walk beside the Cowichan, Malahats, Basses, Halalt, Penelakats, Tumanis, and Layakson peoples who have cared for this land for thousands of years. May we walk gently on the ceded and unceded territories of their lands as we work together to lift up all the Hahasmana. Now, I have a change I want to make to the agenda. I need to pull number 4 out of the consent agenda, and I'm going to add it to 10.1. There is a piece in the Provincial Council meeting report that Trustee Croft will talk to us about. Motion to adopt the agenda as amended, moved by Trustee Thorne, seconded by Trustee Croft. All those in favor? Thank you. Approval of the consent agenda as amended, moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Lise. All those in favor? Thank you. Minutes of the February 11th, 2025 open board meeting, moved by Trustee Thorne, seconded by Trustee Croft. All those in favor? Thank you. No recognition and delegations. Mr. Sanquist, report to the close, please.
Thank you, Chair. The board met in closed session prior to this open meeting. All of the business was concluded. There were personnel items, leases, and facility issues discussed.
Thank you. Action list. All items on the action list are completed, so that's great news. Moving on to Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Just a few updates here. First of all, regarding personnel, just to let the board know that principal and vice principal transfer process has begun for 25-26, and discussions are underway, and announcements will be made before the end of April. Passing that along. Next item here is for board information. Kindergarten registration. Kindergarten registration at Cashman Schools took place January 20th to 24th. The district's projection for 2025-2026 kindergarten registrations is 499 students, with 360 registrations received to date. Next item is regarding 2025 graduation and district year-end events. And on page 24 of your agenda package is a revised list of graduation and year-end events. And it's been updated with dates regarding the district scholarship judging as well. Thank you for that. Next item is district scholarship presentations. This year our district has been allocated 76 district/authority scholarships, up from 66 last year. Attached on page 25 of the agenda package is an updated memo from Assistant Superintendent Jeff Rowan, inviting trustees to be guest judges at our secondary school district scholarship presentations. Judging this year may again differ between schools, as this allows schools to use a process that works for their specific students, and presentations will take place the week of May 5th through the 9th. Trustees are invited to join district and school staff as judges, and please advise by March 31st if you are interested in participating in the judging this year, and which secondary schools are most interest for you to participate in. The next section here, Superintendent's Update, Acknowledgements and Appreciation. I'd like to acknowledge the Cowichan Valley Teachers Federation, Cowichan Valley Principals and Vice Principals Association, and CUPE for organizing and holding their professional development days on February 14th. Very well attended, and I'll speak to that in a few minutes. I'd also like to acknowledge staff, administration, employees, specifically in plumbing and custodial, for the work that they did at the Chemainus Secondary School. We had a sewage backup last Thursday. They were working on it through Friday, Saturday, and finished the work off on Sunday to have the school ready for Monday opening. So thank you to Director Robinson and his team and others that were involved in that process. A lot of great work there. K-12 Literacy Supports Professional Learning Grant, the Ministry of Education and Childcare has awarded districts a K-12 literacy supports professional learning grant. The purpose of this grant is to build the capacity of classroom teachers and support staff to deliver evidence-based literacy instruction, literacy screening for kindergarten through grade 3 students, and interventions for kindergarten through grade 12 students, and to provide information and resources to parents and caregivers to support their child's literacy development. And the senior leadership team will be engaging with teachers, support staff, Indigenous education councils, parent advisory councils, and other partners in the development of these plans. And the grants extends through the end of 2027 school year and is a part of the ministry's commitment to literacy in our province. So we're happy for that. Skills and trades updates. The Careers Department is thrilled to share the upcoming opportunities for students to showcase their skills and innovation in robotics and skilled trades competitions. Skills Canada, Junior Robotics, Sumo Bots, and Gearbots competitions. February 28th, there will be a Skills Canada Junior Robotics, Sumo Bots, and Gearbots competition held in at Cowichan Valley Open Learning. These exciting robotics competitions will challenge students to design, build, and compete with their own robots. And a fantastic opportunity for students for hands-on learning and teamwork. Also, Skills Canada, on March 6th, students from across the district will compete at the Skills Canada Mid-Island Regionals at Vancouver University. Students will compete in a variety of skilled trades and technology competitions, testing their abilities against peers from across the region, and with winners moving on to the provincials. Further with Skills Canada, on March 7th at Camosun College, interurban campus, the students will put their skills to the test with electronics, electrical wiring, and automotive, with winners moving on up to provincials. And these competitions then provide students with valuable hands-on experience and exposure to career pathways in skilled trades and technology. Best wishes and best of luck to those participants. And as noted, the Skills Canada Provincials are going to be held on April 16th, and students who placed first at the regionals will then advance to the provincials, competing against the best from each region in the province. And first place finishers at provincials then advance to nationals at the end of May in Regina, Saskatchewan. So a lot of great work that's going to be happening across the district in that area. Early learning updates, preparing for kindergarten. So we have an image that's coming up here. There are 2 pamphlets for families and for childcare providers. So we're sharing images of the 2 pamphlets provided to families and childcare providers this year to help prepare children for kindergarten in September. The first pamphlet is for families titled On My Way to Kindergarten, and the second pamphlet is for childcare providers titled Transition to Kindergarten. Also within the early years, kindergarten, specifically kindergarten swim, looking at scheduling 4 kindergarten swim dates later this year. The idea of kindergarten swim is to support kindergarten families in getting to know one another and to connect them with their community spaces. And resources will also be provided to families regarding these supports. Ready, Set, Learn. On Thursday, February 27th, principals and kindergarten teachers met to plan Ready, Set, Learn events for school communities. Each school community will host events beginning in April to welcome next year's kindergarten families. And thank you to Assistant Superintendent Reynolds for and her team for leading that process. Lake Cowichan School, then, we're looking at another photo here, trade sample program. So we're sharing photos of the Lake Cowichan School grade 10 through 12 students working with their teacher, David Fisher, in a trade sample program. And in this session, students are learning how to set up electrical circuits for home, a valuable hands-on skill for future trades opportunities. And the school is grateful for the generous donation of supplies from the local hardware store, which made the learning experience possible. And you can see how fully engaged and focused the students are as they dive into this practical and exciting project. Our next photo then is Ecole Caldwell Hill Carnival Week. The children, parents, and staff of Ecole Caldwell Hill celebrated Carnival the week of February 10th through 13th, coinciding with French Immersion Celebration Week, 51 years of French immersion in British Columbia. And Carnival is another of many ways for French culture to be shared and to give our students some understanding of French culture in a very immersive way. So congratulations to them. Alexander Elementary Random Acts of Kindness Week, and we have a number of photos here. As a part of the Random Acts of Kindness Week, intermediate students from Alexander Elementary created Valentine cards for local elders, sharing a few pictures of the elders opening their cards on Valentine's Day. So, well, I guess it didn't fully show up there, but great appreciation for these students and their work there. Maple Bay Elementary reading coaches and more photos. We're excited to share a new program at Maple Bay. Reading coaches, older students are trained to be teachers and reading and paired with younger readers. Through shared reading, younger readers receive feedback and encouragement, and the reading coaches are proud to be coaches and role models. And this has also positively contributed to the Maple Bay school culture of collaboration. Pink Shirt Day, we're looking at here, Wednesday, February 26th was Pink Shirt / Anti-Bullying Day this year, and photos are being shared. Inclusive Learning and School District Office, Lake Cowichan School, Chemainus Elementary School, Drinkwater Elementary, Alexander Elementary, George Bonner, and specifically at George Bonner, theme of the month of February for Pink Shirt Day is to be kind. One of Bonner's students wanted to make a poster for when someone gets angry, and her poster was inspired by her own feelings and what she had seen in the school. And she said the poster will help others remember the rule or expectations on how to handle their anger. Students continue to use their wits, walk away, ignore, talk it out, and seek help, and to say stop when another is not listening or is being mean. They're working on making a difference, even if it's only one person at a time. And they recognize that they have the power to foster kindness and acceptance in each other. At Maple Bay Elementary, Crofton Elementary, and Cowichan Secondary, we see further exhibition of great work that's happening for students around recognition of kindness and their work there. And we can see our principal at Maple Bay Elementary, Principal Davey, had I think a contest or a competition going with students in the school. Students achieved their goal, and principal dyed her hair pink. So, I think 1,000 acts of kindness is what they had reached in terms of that challenge. So congratulations to them. Crofton Elementary honored Pink Shirt Day with a school assembly, again using their wits leaders, and Ms. Merritt read and acted out the story of Billy Bully, a schoolyard counting tale. And at Cowichan Secondary, leadership students organized Pink Shirt Day activities at QSS with a wall of kindness and recognition in the atrium, as well as an assembly presentation on February 25th. So thank you for that. Next item here is shown with photos here, recognition of USW employees. Cowichan Secondary invited the amazing USW employees who moved their entire school in weeks to a school assembly to be recognized and appreciated with a round of applause, the thunderclap, tasty treats, and they worked so hard, and the entire school community really appreciated their dedication. So thank you to them, and also to the school for their recognition there. School performance at Cowichan Music Festival. There's a number of different items here with photos from Drinkwater, QSS, and Francis Kelsey Secondary. This year, some school choirs, bands, and dancers participated in the 76th annual Cowichan Music Festival held at the Cowichan Performing Arts Center. There were school choirs from Tanzer Elementary, Bench Elementary, Drinkwater Elementary, school bands from Quamitchin School and Cowichan Secondary, and school dancers from Francis Kelsey Secondary. The school Tanzer Elementary choir, led by Ms. Taylor, their illustrious music teacher, runs a choir program which has 20 students from grade 4 to 7. They practice every Wednesday at noon hour, and we're very excited to participate in the Cowichan Music Festival this year. Feedback about Tanzer students was excellent, and they're very thankful to be able to be representing their school there. So, Bench Elementary choir, 50 dedicated musicians from grades 4 to 7 who rehearse once a week from September until the Cowichan Music Festival performance, which was on, again, February 12th. So thank you to those students. Drinkwater Elementary choir performed at the festival, grades 2 through 7, as well as grades 3 and 4. So thank you to those students. Quamitchin School Band played on February 25th and had a couple of performances playing Squonk Blues as well as Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. So congratulations to them. It's an amazing opportunity, especially for some of the Quamitchin students who did not have the opportunity in the past without this early introduction. So again, great work from those that are involved in music across the district. And Cowichan Secondary Concert Band, exemplary with its musicianship and behavior, and the students were enthusiastic and excited for the younger bands and from across the district. So congratulations to them, and thank you to all the adjudicators who participated in this event. I'll move us on to the Francis Kelsey Secondary Dancers. Photo here. On Friday, February 21st, the Francis Kelsey Secondary School Dancers performed 3 dances in the Cowichan Music Festival. They danced contemporary dance to the Sound of Silence, and also to a song called Fabulous by Empire Cast, and a hip hop dance to the song Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. So a lot of variety as well as at the festival here. I'm going to move us on to the next item. Chemainus Elementary was successful in their application for a $1,000 Walmart grant, and the funds will be used to purchase a set of high-interest books for boys, bold print series, as well as some more Indigenous themed books for the library. So thank you to Walmart for supplying that grant, and for congratulations to Chemainus Elementary for receiving that. Cowichan Secondary School drama and film class premiered their television show Robin High at the Queen Margaret School Film Festival, on February 26th, and received great reviews from the audience and participants. And new episodes are coming soon. Just a note here, International Women's Day is on March 8th, coming up on Saturday. It's a global day for celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day also raises awareness of the progress made towards achieving gender equity and the work remaining to be done. So thank you for all of those that are participating in recognizing this day. As well, upcoming events here, CUPE Learning Opportunities, the Service Improvements Committee has set out the learning opportunities that will be available for this spring for CUPE. Participants are paid for their time as set out through the Service Improvement Allocation Agreement. So some of the highlights here during spring break: understanding and supporting learning, 30 hours, March 17th to 21st. Office 365, March 17th and 18th, and that's virtual. After school learning opportunities, Halkominum language lessons will be taking place, as well as signing, extract English, SEE, introductory level, part 1 and 2 courses are coming up as well. So great opportunities here for participants from across the district to take part in that, and thank you to the committee and to QP for hosting those. Out of province student travel, for board information, the following out of province student travel has been approved. International student program to the Rocky Mountain trip for March 17th to the 20th, 2025. Reminder of an upcoming out-of-country trip previously approved by the board, Francis Kelsey Secondary Theatre trip to London, England, March 18th to the 25th, 2025, so that's upcoming. We have 2 revised administrative procedures for board awareness, revised AP 173, sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. This AP was revised to reflect the terminology that was updated to align with the BC government and the Government of Canada sites and alignment with Policy 25. And as well, revised AP 514, management of school-based grant-generated funds. This AP was revised to reflect that requests for ongoing recognition of a donation, such as a plaque, are now directed to the Associate Superintendent in charge of communications to be determined with AP 153, advertising, canvassing, and commercial solicitation. And these requests were previously approved by the board. So thank you for that. Principal and Vice Principal Pro D, I alluded to this earlier, so I was able to attend the evening portion of the Principal and Vice Principal Pro D session in Parksville on February 13th. Thank you very much to the Cowichan Valley Principals and Vice Principals Association for that invite, as well as I was able to attend the morning session for the QP invite on February 14th. Facilitator Andrea McComb from, well, that was with the Principals and Vice Principals Association, and QP on the 14th. I joined the board chair, Schmidt, to hand out cookies to attendees, and there was a traditional welcome by John George. The morning featured keynote speaker, Dr. Shahan. Dr. Shahan. The theme for the presentation was FINE, F-I-N-E, 4-letter word, the honest and hard truth about the real self-care. And 200 copies of her book were handed out, Feel Better, and shared with everyone. So again, thank you to QP for that invite and for holding us there. Other sections for the day included first aid, Nourish Cowichan, Set BC, self-care practices, and honoring the light within us all, Office 365, and Toastmasters. So a big array of opportunities for learning there. Upcoming meetings, all superintendents meeting is happening this Thursday in Richmond, so I will be there. Partner liaison meeting happening on Friday, and I believe board chair and secretary treasurer are there as well. Coming up Friday and Saturday in Victoria, Vista Spring Conference. Long Service Recognition Tea is being held on March 13th at Cowichan Secondary School, Samana Gathering Place, to recognize the significant work milestones of 25, 30, and 35 years of service for our employees. So thank you for those that are hosting that. School visits, Cowichan Secondary, February 13th. I was able to spend some time. I got through the third and second. Florist didn't make it down to the first, so I'll have to get back there. February 25th, I attended QSS Special Assembly, as has been noted, with the USW employees being recognized. So again, thank you to them. And for action, student travel request for final approval of the board. So I'm bringing out an out-of-country student travel request to the board for final approval today. It is for Francis Kelsey Secondary dance trip to Los Angeles and Disneyland, California, USA, March 22nd to 26th, 2025. There are 8 students, 1 teacher, 1 parent volunteer, and 1 tour guide. In accordance with Administrative Procedure 261, educational trips out of province / country travel, all out of country travel requests are reviewed by the Associate Superintendent. Superintendent before being presented to the board for approval in principle and final approval. The board granted approval in principle for this out-of-country trip on the January 7th, 2025 open board meeting. So I'm requesting final approval submitted to the district office, and within this request then completed forms, similar memo to request for pre-approval, copy of finalized consent, information letters to parents, as well as final itinerary and schedule, and other items that might be applicable here, such as a copy of group and tour and other insurances, ground and airline travel arrangements, travel medical insurance forms, company waiver forms, injury insurance forms, budget information, and safety plans that are kept at the school. So I'm bringing forth a motion. Well, would you like for me to read that?
Actually, I'm just looking for clarification. You said March. Is it May or March?
I do have written down here, I believe, March.
In our packages, it says May.
May? Let me have a look.
I think it's May.
May?
Yeah, it's May.
May 20,
Okay.
yeah, May 22nd to 26th. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. All right, trustees, we have a motion before us. Anybody have any questions for the superintendent? Miss Trustee Thorne?
One, there may be, not for here, but with the tariffs and stuff in place, I think maybe we should investigate cost and what effects it could have on our students traveling.
Thank you, Trustee Thorne. Anybody else? We have a motion before us that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley grants final approval to the following student trip: Francis Kelsey Secondary Dance Trip to Los Angeles and Disneyland, California, USA from May 22nd to May 26th, 2025. Moved by Trustee Thorne, seconded by Trustee Doman. All those in favor? Oh, shoot, Trustee Stratton, I didn't. Are you voting with your hand up or is it a question?
I am voting in favor.
Okay. Thank you. And Trustee Thorne, thank you for that reminder. Thank you for your report, Superintendent.
Thank you.
Secretary Treasurer, board action.
Thank you, Chair. I have one item, major item this evening for board action, and that is the 2024-2025 amended annual budget. And I want to first start by thanking the board for monitoring the financial situation, as we had an unexpected drop of 149 students over the prior year, when there was an anticipated growth of about 70 students. So there was a significant financial impact, which has been mostly mitigated. There's approximately $400,000 of additional surplus that is being utilized from the annual budget that was adopted last May, putting the board at a draw of about $2.9 million in surplus. So it wasn't possible to recoup the amount of expenditures in alignment with the enrollment that at the rate that the enrollment had dropped unexpectedly. So thank you, and thank you to the district leadership team who worked on some mitigating strategies as well, and of course to the finance team that actually helped put it all together. Claudia's not here this evening, but I'd be thanking her and Carrie and Naomi and the rest of the accounting team who worked on the budget. So we do have a guided tour, and I went over this in some detail with the Board Education and Business Committee last week. This is a consolidated budget. It makes up 3 different funds, which are operating, special purpose, and capital, and most of the attention gets given to the operating budget because that's where the board has the most discretion. Special purpose funds, which I believe total close to $15–16 million on their own, are things that the board has not a lot of discretion over. Actually, they are almost $17 million in special purposes. Those are funds where the board has been provided funding by government with a specific purpose, such as Feeding Futures, Community Link. the class size and composition teachers, Remedy, for instance, those are the big things that end up in there. So when this budget is entirely consolidated, and I'll just quickly move to that page, which is page 40 in the package. I'm just clicking here to get there. We find a budget bylaw of $136,116,976, made up of an operating budget of $112,536.84, which includes $84, which includes additional $62,576, which are capital assets purchased. The special purpose funds that I just explained are $16,452,578, which is then also has a component of capital purchase from special purpose funds. That's your annual facilities grant funds being utilized for items above $5,000 that have been capitalized in that fund. And then, of course, the capital fund total expense of $6.2 million, and then capital assets purchased from local capital of $182,200. So all in all, total, that's $136,116,976. If there are any further questions that weren't brought up at EEBC, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, there are 4 motions for the board to consider adoption of the budget.
Trustees, any questions before we move on with Secretary Treasurer's motions? I can't see Trustee Stratton. No questions?
No questions, thanks.
All right. We'll start with the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley gives first reading to the 2024-2025 amended annual budget bylaw in the amount of $136,116,976. Moved by Trustee Lise, seconded by Trustee Croft. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley gives second reading to the 2024-2025 amended annual budget bylaw in the amount of $136,116,976. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Stratton. That the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley considers giving 3 readings to the 2024-2025 amended annual budget bylaw in the amount of $136,116,976 at this meeting. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Thorne. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley gives third and final reading to the 2024-2025 amended annual budget bylaw in the amount of $136,116,976. Moved by Trustee Lise. Looking at seconded by Trustee Croft. All those in favor? Thank you, folks. And Secretary Treasurer, I know that the board has expressed this over and over, but considering we've had to overlap 2 budgets, and your team has been working really hard on behalf of the board, we just thank you for you and your team for all the hard work that you've done to make sure that we got it amended, as well as the fact that we are also working on our current budget. So thank you for all that you and your team have done to get us successfully to this place.
Thank you. I will walk around and express the board's thanks to the team tomorrow morning. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
All right, committees and outside organizations. Trustee Croft, 10.1 Provincial Council.
Thank you very much, and thank you for allowing this into the agenda at this point. I circulated the Provincial Council highlights and report from our recent gathering over the weekend. But I just want to bring your attention to something that's kind of a novel approach that they're going to be bringing into the AGM in April. So BCSTA has redone over the course of 2 years their bylaws. So, and the team doing the bylaws has come to a place where they feel it's ready for the assembly. But they have a couple of challenges that they have kind of an interesting solution to. So you guys have been to the AGM, and we have amendments and amendments to amendments, and in some cases, amendments to amendments to amendments. And of course, that leads to just a perfect storm of lots of voting and deliberation. It's all very healthy and wonderful. However, for passing the bylaws, it probably won't be efficacious, because each of the bylaws intersects with all of the other bylaws. So any wordsmithing on one will mean that many others have to be reviewed. It also means that it would all have to come forward to the legal team to see if we are still, and to the consulting parliamentarian to see if they are all workable and aligned. So the BCSDA has come up with an interesting solution, and that has to do with the process at the AGM. So at the AGM, the Assembly will be asked to vote on sort of a special rules of order that would mean that they actually wouldn't really accept amendments to the bylaws. That doesn't sound good. However, it's being balanced with the opportunity for boards to give it more consideration and to send their amendments in ahead of time. Those amendments would be assessed as to their legality, as to their parliamentary alignment, and to how and if they interact with the rest of the bylaws. So the fact that we can't have amendments to amendments at the AGM is balanced by the opportunity for a deeper and more, more time to give it a little more consideration. So because that's a super different thing than we've anything done before, and also I think kind of an interesting aspect for organizations, I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Thank you, Trustee Croft. All right. Oh, Trustee Farr, did you have your hand up?
I was just listening to the Chair and Trustee Croft, and I thought, it's about time, because we all know that there's a lot of changes that have to come to bylaws and policies because of the year and the changes that we've all gone through. So it's a big step in the right direction.
Sure. Thank you, Trustee Farr.
Can I add a little something? Thank you. They actually went in and did historical research by pulling materials from the provincial archives and the museum. I don't know, I sort of geek out at that kind of stuff, and I thought it was really interesting, let alone polling a number of other organizations onto how they manage their bylaws and their
Yeah, it's a cool
bylaw
process.
changes. Yeah, so it was very thorough and interesting to hear the narrative on that.
Thank you. All right, upcoming meeting and events. Folks, do you see anything in there that may be missing? And anybody who's going to Vista is registered, right? Excellent. And Trustee Croft, thank you for taking my place there, as I will be in Vancouver, Secretary Treasurer and Superintendent. Correspondence none, new business none. Mr. Sanquist, do we have anybody online for question period?
We do not.
Do I have questions from the gallery? Seeing none. Thank you, folks. Motion to adjourn. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Lise. All those in favor? Thank you, folks. In 35 minutes. Well done, team.